Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know already, I'm Stacy, and yeah, basically that's it. So today the video is about books. I love that. It's my first book related video, so if you like this kind of videos, just let me know. But basically we're gonna talk about the books that I read this summer. So it's a summer wrap-up. If you don't know what that is, wrap-ups is just videos about the books that you've read. Usually people do it per month, like August wrap-up is just what the person read in August. But I don't read like per month, I don't know. And in August I was in a slump kind of. So yeah, but I started reading in like July, June. And that's why I'm saying it's a summer wrap-up. It's not essentially like books that are like summer reads, I would say. But it's the books that I read this summer. So I'll talk about them and give you the rating that I gave it on Goodreads. You can, by the way, follow me on Goodreads. I'm gonna put it here. And I'll follow you back because I want to know what you guys read. And also give you like a little explanation about what the book is. So yeah, let's get into it because I read a few. So let's go. My stack of books is this. Oh wait, these are the books that I read this summer. Yeah, I guess we're gonna start. It's all romance, by the way, so this is also a guide for romance books, I guess. If you're looking for romance books to read, this is your video. So I read this book, She Gets to Go. Yeah, the cover is so cute, and it's by Rachel Lippincott and Alison Derrick. And basically I just found them on TikTok, and the authors, they're women, by the way, and they're married, and they wrote this book together. That's so cute. I tab my books, by the way. I don't have like a system. If you want to know a system, I don't have one. It's about, I read this in like June or July, so I don't know. But okay, so it's about Alex and Molly. So basically Alex is like, I would say a player. She gets a lot of girls, you know. She has like a girlfriendish thing going with a rock star. She's like a singer, and basically, but Alex is not really open about her feelings, so the rock star is like, hell to the no. And they kind of break up, but she's like, okay, I'll give you a second chance if she's able to flirt, to not flirt with anyone, like to not have like other girls on the side, you know. That's the deal. And Alex is moving to college. Then you have Molly, and Molly, she's kind of shy, and she's also like into girls, obviously, and she's moving from high school now to the same college as Alex, and she doesn't really have friends, and she's obsessed with like one girl. Cora is the name of her. She's obsessed with her since high school, and she's going to the same school as her, and she wants to like make a move on her, you know, but she's too shy to do that. She's like, she has like social anxiety really bad. I really, when I read this, I was like, I'm such a Molly. But Molly is really funny. She has like, she's sarcastic and stuff. Alex is going to, because she wants to show her girlfriend that she can like help people and not be selfish and not flirt with other girls, she's going to help Molly get Cora, like kind of tutor her on how to flirt with people and get a girl. And it is kind of funny. And they, at the beginning, they don't like each other, but with the time that they spend together, they become friends. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I gave this, I think, 4 stars because I read this in less than 24 hours. This was like such a fast-paced book, so if you want a book that you can read fast, this is literally your book. To be honest, this is such a wholesome book, and it has no spice, like no spice at all. No, nothing. Let me see, how many stars did I give you? Oh, 5. Oh, okay, I gave it 5 stars at the time. I'm not gonna change that. It's a 5-star read for me. So I guess I enjoyed this a lot. I can't remember anymore. So I don't know if it's a good idea to give it 5 stars. But at the time I liked it a lot. So 5 stars for this one. Ugly Love. This is a very popular book on Book Talk and Bookstagram. Those are, you know, Instagram and TikTok are where I get my recommendations from. Ugly Love by Colin Hoover. So basically this is about, what's the names again? Miles and Tate. So Tate, she moved in with her brother because she's going to college to get her master's, I think. She's a nurse. Her brother is a pilot, and basically the company where her brother is a pilot gives them like a residency. That means in that apartment building a lot of other pilots live, okay? And the neighbor is Miles, and he happens to be one of her brother's best friends. Tate finds him very attractive. Miles finds her very attractive. So they have a kind of agreement, and that agreement has like 2 rules. The agreement, by the way, is that they just have sex and nothing else. So their relationship is just physical attraction at the beginning. And 2 rules that Miles sets. The first rule is not asking about his past, and the second one is not expecting a future. They just have like a no strings attached kind of relationship with each other. So it's the trope, I would say. It's like my brother's best friend-ish kind of thing. Friends with benefits, but they're not really friends. And it's also, they tell it in 2 perspectives. It has 2 POVs, but like the first POV is from Tate, and she like speaks in the present, and Miles' POV is like from his past. His past is kind of sad. So some people cry. I didn't cry. But some people cry while reading this. I did not, but yeah, so just so you know. I gave it, I think I gave this 2 stars. I don't know. I gave it 2 stars. Basically, I didn't like this at all because all they do in the plot is literally have sex. And I feel like I get it. It's the point of the book. Like, their relationship is literally just having sex with each other. But also, like, there's just some toxic stuff going on in here that I'm like, what the fuck is, no, you know? And also, I don't like the writing style she has in this. This is giving Wattpad 2013. And I'm like, out of that phase. 14-year-old Stacy already read stories like this, and she's not into it anymore with 20. And also, I didn't feel the chemistry between the 2 characters. Like, people are like, oh my god, they're so connected, and I feel like they have a good relationship and chemistry. No, they don't. I have other books. If you compare the chemistry between the people, you're like, what the fuck is this? This is just my opinion. If you like this book, no hate. And yeah, but I didn't. Next, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. There you go. This book is about, oh Jesus Christ. How am I gonna explain this? It's about Evelyn Hugo, who's a very successful actress, and she started in the 1950s, and she's still till now very like legendary, I would say. And she once because she's having like an auction or something, so she writes an email to a very famous like magazine kind of thing and requests Monique Grant to write an article about her. Monique Grant is like a journalist at that magazine, and she didn't really write before that. Like, she wasn't assigned to very many articles before this one. Evelyn Hugo requested, she gets what she wants. So Monique goes to her home, to Evelyn Hugo's, and they start like interviewing. She starts interviewing Evelyn Hugo, and basically this isn't a kind of interview style. So we switch from Monique's point of view to Evelyn. Like, Evelyn is talking, you know, she's telling the stories. And also, like, the name of the book is because Evelyn Hugo had 7 husbands. She explains her relationships with the 7 husbands because beforehand no one knew what happened, why she had 7 husbands, why she really did like have a divorce with those people. So she explains everything, like everything. She explains how she became the actress that she is. She explains the relationships with her husband. She explains how she had a divorce and stuff. So this book is very interesting, I would say. And I found it very interesting because I can like imagine that Hollywood was like that in the 50s and still is. By the way, it's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I think she's like a very praised author. But I give this 3 stars because of the ending. So it's a 3-star book, but I really recommend it. So if you want to read this, read it. I didn't know it, but it is an LGBTQ plus kind of read. Okay, I didn't know it. I'm not gonna say who or what is happening because that's what made this book better for me. I didn't know, and then when I read it, I was like, oh my god. So this is LGBTQ plus friendly, you know. Okay, now we're going to one of my favorite romance books, I would say. I gave it 4 stars. I don't know why, but I keep like thinking about this book. Okay, so this one, this is also a book that is very, 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 very praised in like romance, and it is The Love Hypothesis by Ailey Hazelwood. Basically, it's about Olive Smith and Adam Carlson. Okay, so Olive is starting her PhD. I'm not gonna explain what a PhD is because I'm really not qualified for that, but she's starting a PhD, and Adam Carlson is kind of a professor in a lab, okay? And Olive one night just decides, you know, to kiss Adam Carlson because her best friend is passing by, and she told her best friend that she had a date even though she didn't have one, and her best friend is like passing by the lab where she's working while she was supposed to be on a date. So she sees her best friend like pass, and she was like, oh my god. And at that moment Adam is also passing in the hallway, so she just decides to kiss him because that was the best opportunity, the best person that you could have chosen to kiss and say that you were on a date on in the lab. And after that kiss, Olive and Adam just decide to fake date. So this is so good. I love, it's just Adam Carlson is the perfect kind of boyfriend, you know? It's boyfriend material. Guys, if you want a girlfriend, a boyfriend, just get you an Adam Carlson, not gonna lie. And also Olive and Adam have the best humor ever. The humor in this, like the sarcasm and stuff, and how they like kind of like, you know what I mean? They like don't take each other as seriously, you know? So this book is so wholesome, and it was so fun to read. I swear to god, it's rare that I have that much fun reading something, and this is so good. I'm just saying, this channel is an Adam Carlson stan account. I don't care. I don't even like men, but this one, Jesus Christ. I gave it 4 stars. Now that I'm thinking about it, it could be like a 4.5. Also, it has spice, so you know. When I say spice, I mean sex, and specifically that it is described in a very, 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 very realistic way. Not really realistic way, but very specifically. So this, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I read The Hating Game after Love Hypothesis, I think. So, you know, this is all I tapped. It has like 6 taps. After that, I was just not. I gave The Hating Game 2 stars. So just so you know, basically this is the trope in this is enemies to lovers, and basically that's my favorite trope. But this book was just not it. Basically it's about Lucy and Joshua, and they are employees in the same company, and they do the same thing. They're both secretaries for 2 CEOs. So they sit at the same table, like across each other, and they invented games. So that's why the name of the book is The Hating Game, because they have like games like the staring game and other stuff. I'm not even motivated to talk about this book because I didn't like this. This is, I feel like I didn't, even ugly love is better than this. So yeah, that's basically it. That's why they kind of play games with each other, but it's games that make them, I don't know, they still hate each other. Like, they don't like each other. That's what everyone in the company knows. Those two, all they do is argue. Okay. Lucy is a pretty nice, you know, nice person. It's like sunshine, grumpy boy kind of thing. Also, Joshua is scary. People say he's scary and they don't like talking to him and stuff, I guess. But like, I feel like they hate each other, but from the first second you see that that's not really hate, they like each other. The thing that makes me not like this book is Lucy. Okay, it's told in Lucy's point of view, and I don't like Lucy, and that's what made me hate this book, because Lucy is annoying. She really is, and she's full of like cliches and stereotypes. This book is full of them, and because it's told in Lucy's point of view, you just know, like, Lucy for me is shitty because she just had like fatphobic comments and is very superficial and sexualizes Joshua to the top. Like, I feel like, okay, in a lot of books they do that, but she's at the beginning, all she talks about is about Joshua's like exterior and not about his personality. And he literally says it in the book. He's like, okay, I would like you to, you know, be more, want to get to know me, you know, not like just talk about my body. I'm more than just a body. And that's literally his fear in relationships, is that girls just want him because of his body and not because he has something in his brain or his personality. So that's literally his fear in relationships, and all she does is sexualize him. I feel like the sexualizing and the fat phobia and the cliches in men made me not like this book. Now, positive notes, you know. This one, oh my god, I think this was my first book that I read this summer. One Last Stop. It's very thick, but it's only thick because it's the French version. The English version is less less of a tall book. This is very tall, and I think it looks less thick in the English version, but this is the French version of it, and I love this book. I gave this 5 stars. It is about August and I forget names, I'm bad at names. Wait, Jane? Yeah. August and Jane. So basically August moved to New York to finish college, and she has 3 roommates now. So every morning she takes the same metro. So in every morning in that metro she meets Jane. And Jane is like very cool looking. She has like a leather jacket and she looks like she comes straight out of the 70s. And August is just instantly attracted to her. August, every morning, she talks to Jane in the metro. They start like liking each other. They build a relationship and it's very cool. I would say it's an historical romance kind of thing. And also kind of fantasy science fiction because it has time travel in it. It has time travel, and also you get like kind of stories about the 70s and this, and I love this book. Jesus Christ. We're nearly done, people. Nearly done. Okay, so I would say we go to 2 books that I didn't finish this summer. I didn't finish this one. We Were Liars. This is a book that is very hyped on TikTok. I think it got hyped on TikTok a lot because it has like a plot twist at the end that shocks everyone. So I got to page. This book has 300 pages. No, not even. 224 pages. I should be able to read that in like a day. Okay, but I started this book when I was 17, I think. Stopped. And I restarted it again because I was like, okay, Stacy, you have to read this. This is like a book that everyone likes. I really tried, but this book is so slow. And also, now that I'm reading it, I don't like the character that tells this book. I don't even know her name anymore, just so you know. What is her name again? Candace. So this book is about the St. Clair family. The St. Clair family owns an island. On that island, you have different houses for the family, you know, the different sisters and their kids. And basically one day Candace, the person that tells the story, she just decides to go swimming in the beach that they have there, and she knocks her head, and she doesn't remember anything about it because she was alone. She went to the beach alone, and that's the strange thing about it, or whatever. So basically, yeah, that's it. She has an accident on her head, she doesn't remember anything, and that accident made her have migraines and stuff. She doesn't feel good half of the time. I think they try to find out what, she tries to find out what really happened, because no one talks about the accident anymore, no one explains it. It has like romance in it between her and another guy. I'm really not interested in this book and that's why. But I DNF'd it. I stopped and I'm not gonna finish it. I already know. I'm gonna Google the plot twist because I don't care. Another book that I DNF'd is Marked Men. This one. I'm reading it in French. So I read a lot, I would say, of it. I read that much. And I have that much left. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it. It's about what's the name? Wool and what's the name of the Shaw? The names also. Shaw and Wool. So basically Shaw was the best friend of Wool's twin brother. He died in a car accident. And Wool and Shaw never were friends, I would say. They literally didn't like each other. But Shaw, like, they don't like each other, but they do. Like, Shaw likes Wool since day one, but Wool didn't really think of her like that. But so after the death of his brother, Wool just got impossible. He's kind of a player and takes a girl home every weekend till he sees Shaw in a different light, and starts like being attracted to her. This story is so confusing. I don't even know how to explain it without giving spoilers. Like, I don't know. It's just Wool is a bad boy, I guess, and he's very impolite and toxic, I feel like. And Shaw is like a nice girl who is rich, by the way, who has problems like her mom not wanting her to be with Wool because he's all tatted with piercings. He's a tattoo artist, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. It's very toxic. I feel like it's not toxic. It's just a cliche that I don't want to read. The last book that I read, that I finished yesterday, is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. So basically, it's about Rowan and Zara. And Rowan is a billionaire. He's one of 3 brothers, and when his grandfather dies, he leaves 3 letters for the 3 brothers. And basically in those letters, they all have like a task they have to complete to like get the shares that their grandfather wants to give them. Rowan has such a task to complete. I'm not gonna tell you what, because I feel like it's kind of a spoiler. The family, basically, they have like an amusement park, and he becomes the director of that amusement park, and that's basically Rowan's side of the story. And Zara, she's an employee in that amusement park, okay? And she's like a normal employee in the amusement park, and then she kind of writes a drunk proposal for a new ride, criticizing a ride in the amusement park, and that proposal just gets accepted, and she gets a new job as a creator in the company. So she's working with Rowan right now, and she basically is a very happy person, and she radiates just happiness, you know. And Rowan is emotionless, so the trope in this is like the grumpy kind of sunshine thing, and it's kind of enemies to lovers, but also they're not really enemies, because Rowan just is attracted to her from the first second he sees her. So this book got 4 stars from me. I really liked it. I don't know, it's just how things play out. I was sad, angry, a lot of things while reading it. I was so mad at Rowan. And it has kind of a miscommunication trope in it that I don't like, but is very realistic. I just loved it. It's just their relationship and the beginning, like the first 200 pages of this. There's when I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a 5-star read. I didn't give it 5 stars because I don't even know, because I don't really have something negative to say about it. I feel like towards the end I was kind of bored because the first 200 pages was just them, you know, playing with each other. Not even like being in a relationship or having really a physical thing with each other. It's just them teasing each other, and that's what I like, you know. I like the teasing, and that's why I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a 5-star read. And then after, when they kind of get in a relationship, but not really, it just gets wholesome, you know, cute, they're cute, and I was like, I like the teasing, you know. So that's why I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads, but for me it's like a 4.5-ish kind of book. So it's really good. I loved it. Like I did love it. And it has spice in it, and a lot of spice. So just so you know, if you don't like that, don't pick this up. But yeah, so this is, by the way, a series. So I have the first one, this is the first one, and the second one is Terms and Conditions, I think, yeah. And that's about his older brother. So I'm gonna pick that up and read that too, because I can't wait to read those. And she's coming out with the third one that is about the third brother, and probably my favorite brother though. So basically those were all the books that I read this summer. I don't know even if that's a lot. I guess it's a lot, but not really. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I read 8 books. And I hope you liked it. If you did, just, you know. And that's it for me. And I'll see you next week. Okay.